In the Bible, there are people who love and obey God, and there are those who reject Him. The same is true today. The purpose of this clip is to introduce you to the concept of the two worldviews. A worldview is the way we look at the world around us. Our worldview shapes our thoughts and ideas, and it affects the way we live. The two worldviews are, there is a God, and there is no God. During this conversation, when we say God, we mean the God of the Bible. One of the many choices we make in life is to believe that there is a God or believe there is no God. To illustrate how this can affect a person's life, let's do a thought experiment. For a couple of minutes, let's imagine people living their lives in a world where God does not exist. In a world without God, everything is okay. What is good and what is evil are just ideas that can change if people want them to. Truth is flexible. What you think is truth can change to fit your beliefs. Ethics can change. How we treat others can change to fit what we choose to believe or what a group of people chooses to believe. When we die, we die. It won't matter that you existed. Sorry, but that's that. There is no help or direction in life. You are on your own. If you get your life right, it won't matter. If you get your life wrong, that's too bad. It still won't matter. The same fate for all. Saint Teresa and Adolf Hitler are going to the same place. Nothingness. It won't matter how you lived your life. Humans are animals. We are an accident, a freak of nature, and we have no purpose. Individuals must also submit to the strongest group in the culture. A person will have no rights. People are in charge. You can't choose your life. Your life will be determined by how you were born and where you were born. Now let's perform our thought experiment in a world where God does exist. There is good and evil. God determines what is good and evil. His morals cannot change, and they will not change. Truth cannot change. God is truth. He does not change, so his truth does not change, and we don't have to guess what is real spiritual truth. Ethics cannot change. God determines how we treat others. He has set what is good and evil. Death is not the end. God is eternal and has created us to be eternal. What we do in life has meaning and purpose now and forever. We have help and direction in life. Humans need help and instructions. God has made His Word and His Holy Spirit available to us. We choose our fate. Each of us will be held accountable for our words and actions. It matters to God how we live our lives. Humans are not animals. You have been created for God's glory and to have a relationship with Him. You have a purpose in life. And God is in charge. With God's absolute truth, we can be rational. Under His rule, we have human rights on earth, which are determined by His moral standards. As creator of heaven and earth, God has determined how we approach Him and how to have a relationship with Him. One thing I would like to point out is that there's a difference between the two worldviews and a person's search for truth. There are those that believe that God is real and they act on it. There are those that are wondering if God is real, they're asking questions and they're not sure. And then there are those that say there is no God. The two worldviews are more about the decisions a person makes and how they live their life. There are many people who claim that the God of the Bible is real and they believe that he exists, but they don't want him telling them what to do. They want to live their life the way they want. What they are really saying is, there is no God of their life. When we ignore God and his commands, it's the same as living as though there is no God. One real-life example is this. If a person shoots a bald eagle, there's a maximum penalty of $125,000 and 2 years in prison. However, a person can get rid of a baby before it's born because they don't want to take the responsibility of raising a child. Under the worldview of there is no God, human life has no value. So, these are the two worldviews. And depending on your worldview, each has amazing and terrifying consequences. That's because these two worldviews are a direct result of spiritual battle. If you would like more information on spiritual battle, see the Topics Clip section of our YouTube channel and click on the video entitled Spiritual Battle 101. Let me bring this discussion to a close with Ephesians chapter 6, verses 11 and 12. It says, "Put on the full armor of God, so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms."